Once again, welcome to Cooking Around's channel. For today, another soup recipe, a diet soup recipe, the best homemade cream of celery soup. And this is out of this world. No, I made some other recipe that required celery. And I had a lot of celery left over. So what am I going to do with it? I'm not going to throw it out. I don't like too much of it in a salad. So I created this soup. And to make it more creamy, I added potatoes, and of course I added cream, but if you think the cream is too much, you can just add milk. It will still be creamy. So let's get going. Grab yourself a medium pot or a big pot, depending on how much you're going to make, and I would add now 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and let's get that melted. 2 large garlic cloves, and don't worry, just slice them roughly because we're going to blend it all in later. Add 1 small yellow or white onion and chopped again roughly, and just let it go for a couple of minutes. And now to make it even richer, let's add 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour. Don't worry about it. Now just stir it around a little bit like this and blend it in. Now just to get the flour in the cooking process, just add a little splash of water. Now get your celery stalks. I have here about, I don't know, 4 or 5, and I want you to use part of the leaves. Then the leaves are also very nutritious, and just throw that into the mixture, and now add about 2 cups of water just so we can add more liquid at this stage. Now here I'm using 2 medium white potatoes that have been peeled, but you can use sweet potato, you can use red potato, any type of potato that you like. Now we need a little bit extra flavor, so let's add 1 cube of veggie stock, and like I keep on saying, must be low sodium. But of course we have to add some salt, so here I'm adding just a pinch of salt. If you want to add more, that's up to you. Now don't freak out here. I'm adding half a teaspoon of sugar because sometimes the celery is a bit on the bitter side. Raise the heat to high, bring it to a simmer, cover and let it go for about 25 minutes or until the potatoes are tender. Okay, we are back. Let's take a look. Now grab one of the potatoes, grab yourself a fork and stab it right in the middle. If the fork goes through very easily, you know it's done and it's ready to go. You can now turn off the heat, let it cool down, or just add a little touch of cold water, and be careful, it's still hot. Grab yourself your blender and just start blending all the way around, all the way until it becomes smooth and liquidy. Now how much liquidy you want, well, that depends on you. For me, I want everything smooth out into 100% creamy. Now for the final stage, let's add some more water. Here I'm adding about 1.5 cups. Now how much you add depends on you. Do you want it more creamy, do you want it more thick, or do you want it thin? Now here I'm adding about half a teaspoon of white pepper. Why white? Because I don't like it to show up in my soup. It just makes a better presentation. Now to give it some body, I'm adding more celery, 1/4 cup of celery stalk. And to give it more looks, I'm adding 1/4 cup of celery leaves. Now I'm adding 3/4 cup of 12% cream. If you don't want to use the cream, just use milk. It'll work just the same. And now I want you to cover it and let it go for about 10 minutes on simmer. So once again, we reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoy this soup as much as I do. And once again, I have to say it's goodbye from Tony and Cooking Around.